I love my people so much. My heart is literally bursting with pride. Welcome to your Millennial Unfiltered Mother podcast, aka your mum podcast. I'm your host, Christiana, and welcome back to another episode. Glad to have you back. If you're new here, welcome. As I was saying, I love my people. You lot are the best. When I say my people, I mean black people. I love you guys too much. I'm so proud. And that's mainly what this episode is about today. This is a special shout out to black women in particular. So on social media and just throughout life, right? Black women have been speaking up and speaking out. Yeah. And I'm all here for it. Some of it is uncomfortable content. Some of it is inspiring. Some of it is empowering. Some of it is funny. Some of it is really dark. But the point is that black women are not being silent, are not, sitting in the shadows, are not just, They're literally speaking their minds boldly, and I'm all here for it. So let's get into a few things. I'll start off with Misha B and Alexandra Burke deciding to sort of film themselves, talk about their personal X Factor experiences. Because I kind of feel like we kind of had a feeling some things were going on. Do you know what I mean? Like, we kind of had a feeling that we're having to deal with a few things, but the way they handled it, was quite graceful, and they just sort of got on with their primetime TV show. And they did really well on the show. Obviously, Alexandra Burke won, which was an amazing moment. So for them to actually sort of come and, in the midst of our outcry for justice, in the midst of our outcry for equality, and, to defund the police, to end police brutality, to start to end systemic racism, in the midst of all of this, they have decided to, speak about their personal experiences with racism on primetime TV. And I watched both their videos, and I was, moved by, what they were saying. So I'll start off with Misha B. I won't go, too in depth about everything. If you haven't seen it, please go on her Instagram and watch it. Yeah, because it's serious. I'll leave the link to her Instagram on the description of this podcast. She spoke about, what she had to deal with in that show, how she was made to look like a bully, like the aggressor, overconfident was being thrown around. That clip that, that we saw on Twitter and everything of Louis commenting saying that she might be a bit too overconfident, and it might be seen, a certain type of way. Then you've got dumbass Talisa talking about, she's a bully, rare. And I remember, do you know what? At the time, I remember feeling like, oh, why are they trying to move to her? But, watching it back, it was just so blatant, and it was just so rife how Misha B was a target. And the narrative that was painted, when it came to her was, this angry, overconfident black woman. And we're all not having it. And it was good to see, Kelly Rowland and Gary Barlow sort of standing up for her, but they could have said more, in my opinion. They stood up for her, yeah, cool, amazing. But in my opinion, watching it back now, I don't know, more sauce could have been thrown on that, but I'll leave that. It's not that important. And obviously watching her talking about it and how she felt at the moment, my heart was really touched by her story, because it was like, I'm sure, black women were at home thinking, nah, man, see, look how they're doing Misha B. Like, look how they're doing it. But did we really deep how very serious the allegations that they made, against her were? Did we really understand at the time how serious, it was for them to paint her in a certain light? It obviously actually had a quite a damning effect on her career, painting her in such a way. Of course it would have had a damaging effect to her career. And that is disgusting. I'm so pissed off for her. And I'm so glad she really sat there and told that story in detail, because we all needed to hear it. And let it be a lesson for black women in the entertainment industry. Don't be made to feel like, do you understand? Because you're, like aggressive or overconfident or all this rubbish spewing words that they're putting out there. Don't be made to feel like you have to dim yourself to fit into somewhere where, well, listen, we don't belong. Don't try to fit into that sort of mold. Listen, our entertainment, they're teething it from us. Our culture, the way we are, the way we sing, the way we speak, the way we dress, how our natural bodies look, they're trying to teeth it all and claim it. Like, we can't keep letting this run. We cannot keep letting this run, because enough is enough. Let's continue to call out these culture appropriators. Do you understand? And that's the top execs, top, the producers of such shows like X Factor, the heads of these record labels, who, as soon as you come in, you're put into a certain light. They tell you, what did Alexandra Burke say? They told her, don't be wearing no braids. Yeah? Keep your hair straight and long. Basically, make yourself try to look as European as humanly possible. No! Because you're not European. We can't let those kind of things run anymore. Don't have no afro. Make yourself look as appealing to the masses, as appealing to white people as humanly. But nah, that has got to stop. If you just as a black woman like your hair to be a certain way, like it to look a certain way, straight, you like the wigs, you like then do your thing, man. That's the great thing about us. We can experiment, we can do what we want. And we can rock it anyhow, anyway. But don't be told that you need to appease a certain audience in order to get ahead. That needs to end. Because trust me, we need to start understanding our power. We need to start understanding our power and what we possess. They want everything that we have. They take things from us because we have something there. So we can't let them continue to make us feel that who we are is too much for the masses. So watching their sort of testimonials, if you want to call it, about their experiences on X Factor it was eye-opening, but at the same time, like, we been knew that this industry was moving mad. Some of the content that Alexandra Burke came out with, yeah, let's have it all the way right. Who was that supposed to appeal to? As in, really? I mean, I like Alexandra Burke. She's got a wicked voice. Strong. But them songs weren't it. Who were they supposed to appease? No, a slot. I'll tell you that. So I'm glad that they, that they spoke out. Alexandra Burke talking about how they said, bleach. Have you ever thought about bleaching your skin, or you should bleach your like? It's brazen, It's brazen. And I'm glad that she said, nah, not doing that. There's a line. And I'm not crossing that. But let me tell you, there are probably people out there who would have done it and done anything to appeal to these audiences and to these masses. And it's a shame. It's really, really hard. It's a shame to think that people have to go. I worked as a background singer for so long, and, for me, yeah, there were times where I felt like I had to sort of be less, do you know what I mean? Have less personality. not within like my band, but when you're around, certain people, you know, when you're like sometimes at festivals or, at the corporate kind of shows, when you're around those types of environments and you're speaking to some people, of course, some people will come now, touch my wig. Some people will come now or try to touch my wig, try to touch my hair, call me exotic, look at me like I'm some type of entertainment just when I'm just being myself. Do you know what I mean? I felt all of that. I still feel that on a normal day to day. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, nah, I'm not here for your entertainment. I'm just being myself. And there are times where I kind of felt like, let me consciously not speak louder than a certain level. Let me speak slower. Let me not, there were times where I felt like I had to just not be myself in order to fit in. And no, one thing I like, about myself, one thing I kind of rate is that in any situation, when you speak to, friends, family, colleagues, people from my past, whatever, they'll all describe me the same. And that's what I like. I'm not about to be acting like this one around this group, acting like this like around this group. No, I'm who I am. I can't be all this switch on, switch off. I'm not doing it. So again, congratulations to them not speaking these things out. I'm sure, and Leanne from Little Mix also spoke about her experiences with racism and being made to feel different and being made to feel like she had to do, like, you know what I mean? When you have to, when you're told you need to work 10 times harder than your white counterpart. It's true, and that's how they make you feel, like you need to do even more in order to, and you're just seeing, what your white counterparts hardly doing nothing, and they're getting this, getting that, and it's like, really? That's just something that black people are taught. In order for us to get ahead in all different types of industries, you have to make your name easier to pronounce. Do you understand? Take some letters out of that long name and make it easier for white people to pronounce. You have to, live by a certain British culture. When you go out to pubs and all of that, do you understand? You just have to take it when a hip hop song comes on and everybody just turns to you as if you know all the lyrics. Do you know what I mean? There have been situations where I've gone to the pub and then a young Beyonce comes on or something and everyone just turns to me like I'm now going to be the one to stand on tables twerking. They're pointing at me like, hey, yeah, look, yeah. I'm like, do you want to leave me alone? The microaggressions that we have to deal with every single day is exhausting. And enough is enough. Let's call it out. As soon as you hear it, as soon as you see it, you call it out. And I'm glad people are finally doing it. I'm seeing a lot of it. I'm seeing a lot of tweets, people leaving their jobs because, they're not about to work for a racist person. Trust me, you will prosper. You made the right decision. You don't have to deal with it. I spoke about how, some of the Starbucks employees in my last episode, some of the Starbucks employees spoke out about their head saying, listen, don't be wearing no BLM business. Yeah, tell them about themselves. And you see the way they just reversed. Black women continue to loud it, yo. Loud it. We've seen some disturbing tweets. Disturbing. Traumatizing tweets from women who have been victims of sexual assault and rape. And more recently, people have just said, I'm speaking out and I am calling out these people that have done this to me. And honestly, this was, I don't know, from when I'm releasing this episode, this started from like just over a week ago, where these girls were speaking out about their experiences and naming these people that, put them through these things. And well done to them. Well done to them. Listen, I believe them all. Yeah, sorry. I believe them all. I do, I'm sorry. All the ones that spoke about Tim Westwood, I believe you all. Yeah, Tim Westwood has been out here being a creep. And it's about time, that people continue to just not have it. And all Ray Black speaking about that situation with Ambush. Well done to her. Being a black woman that is actively in the industry right now, I'm sure she was conflicted about doing that, I'm sure. Because it's very, very easy for black women to get blacklisted, in the music industry. You just have to just let things go. You just have to just smile and nod. Because it's already hard. It's already hard. It's already hard. When you're black, when you're dark skin, you understand? It's already hard. So for you to now tell people about themselves and call people out, that's it. You're already thinking, this is what's gonna, end me. It's already hard. So it would have taken a lot for her to be like, nah, ban all that. And I'm glad she did it, because I'm telling you now, the support that she's getting, there's some people who want to start being like, of course people are gonna have their say, but for the most part, she did the right thing. Because, now people really, really think twice about who they choose to violate. So seeing those tweets over the last, week has been, honestly, it made me come off social media again. It made me come off social media again because as much as I've read a lot of it, it was still really hard to sort of read and, read of these people's really personal experiences with, people who we celebrate and adore and everything. It was really hard to read. But the courage that it would have taken for these women to sort of speak out about their, about their experiences, I mean, you can only really applaud them and uplift them and encourage them and support them. It's deep. It's deep. And anybody else who, I'm sure, listen, guys, there's so many people who are just sitting on their own experiences because they're just not there yet. You understand? They're not really there yet in terms of sharing what happened to them. And to those people, honestly, when you're ready, and when you're ready, I'm hoping that they're getting some kind of strength from the people who are courageous enough to share their experiences so publicly. And there's some people who are just not there yet, and that's fine. But just know that, you're not alone, and there's people out there who have gone through what you're going through, will be able to support you. And if you're a victim of sexual harassment or worse, allowed it. That's all I can say. So I'm super, super, super proud of my people, of black women, of dark-skinned black women, for, not being scared anymore and not being boxed in, not being suppressed, and just saying, nah, and just, using their chest to say everything that they feel. There's a large community of us who have each other's backs and who want to see each other win. And there are a community of people who don't want to see us win and want to put us down every chance that they get. But black women continue to loud it. Continue to speak from your chest and with your chest high and, call out injustice, call out colorism, call it all out. We all have each other. We're all in this together. And I love you lot. So that's what I wanted to say in this episode. Thank you guys for listening. Any suggestions of topics that you want me to discuss, email them to me, yourmumpodcast@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to take suggestions. If you want to come and talk to me, I know I've had a few requests, which I'm really, really grateful for. I'm going to get in contact with you soon. But if you want to come and talk to me, again, email me, yourmumpodcast@gmail.com, and we can arrange it. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.